Okay. Yeah. We forgot our CWCK. Oh my goodness.
Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Apex One Radio. We are still at Rennersburg, the venue of the second edition of the Multicultural Conference for Women organized by the CWC, that is Columbus Women Connect. It's been a long day here, and the event is about to run off. We have been here, we've listened to the discussions. There have been three very powerful panel discussions here today. The first one was focused on health, the second on financial education, and of course, the third on well-being. And so we are at the tail end of the event. Participants are now taking snapshots before the event rounds off. It's been a wonderful time. We are going to be speaking to some of the participants just before they leave to gather their impressions about the day. And like I said, it's been a wonderful time today. And we will be sourcing information on the conference and how it went, beginning with perhaps some of the people who spoke on the various panels. I will approach first one of the men who took part in the conference. Today, welcome to Apex One Radio. You are live. Tell me, what made you participate in the women's conference in the first place?
I've been invited to come to this important conversation. I'm glad that I did because I happen to be a writer for a book that celebrates women's life. And because childbirth, emergent pain to childbirth, the long life care and nursing will never end. That's not just trend, that's business. So I'm glad to be here.
Glad to be here today. We just spoke with one of the men. Perhaps let's talk to Yaron. Is that the name? How are you doing? You're live on Apex One Radio. So you've just taken part in the CWC Women's Conference. How do you feel after getting all the information which you had today, and of course sharing your own information to the participants?
I feel good, and I feel like I learned a lot. A lot of the topics that were covered, such as financial literacy, well-being, health. Like those are everyday topics that can be heard. So I think it was really good topics, and I had to.
How did you learn about the conference?
How do I hear about the conference?
Yes.
How do I hear about the
How did you learn about the conference?
Oh, I remember
Okay.
which was covered last year. So that's how I heard about it. And we're the founding members, so we can like.
Mm. Thank you so much. Thanks for speaking to Apex One Radio. We will be speaking with one of the participants who doubled as a panelist in one of the panel discussions, Lobby Afi. All right, so thank you so much for speaking to Apex One Radio. You participated in the conference. What are your first feelings before we get to more questions?
I think this is a wonderful event. I think that I learned a lot. I'm glad that I got to see it. I'm thinking about
You spoke about resilience in your panel discussions, and I'd like you to establish a relationship between resilience and women. Do you have the impression that women are crowded with a lot of issues to a point where they do need that resilience?
I think that women are born resilient. When we come into this earth, we leave this earth with our resilience. So it's innate, it's in us, and it's a power that no one can take away from us.
Mhm.
The only thing that I would say is the connections between, you said resilience
Women.
and women that I wish that we had more of is tapping into that power. So we have so many women here that are older that have tapped into their resilience, but I can't wait to the young ladies, the little girls, the babies to get into that resilience and be able to hone into their power.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if you have one advice to women in today's world plagued by us sort of social vices, what would that be?
I would say tap into your freedom. It's freedom time.
Mm.
Let's work. Let's put into all of the things that you have your dreams and your inspirations in, whether it's education, healthcare, finances, home code, anything that you put your mind into, the worst that you can get is enough. This world is meant for you. It's time for you to take it. It's time for you to uplift yourself and uplift your community and to keep pushing.
It's well, it's meant for you. It's time for you to stand up for your community. Thank you so much, Lobby Afi. This is Apex One Radio. We are doing the last minutes of the CWC conference. We will be speaking to the next participant who doubled as one of the panelists in today's discussion. She flew all the way from Philadelphia to take part in the conference. Yena is her name. We will also speak with her we before we run off. Maybe time for us to take yet another participant before we talk with her. Time for me to approach Famata. You're welcome to Apex One Radio. We are live. You did not only participate in this conference, but you were one of the panelists who shared enormous information, especially about wealth. First question: what are your impressions taking part in this conference?
Oh, this is very informative. We got to learn a lot from all the other panelists. And I love that we are all women out here networking and just
Mm. So you spoke earlier about our diet and how we should mind the portion of the food we eat. You are an African. I'm just trying to establish that relationship between African women who get into the kitchen and cook their food and feed their families. But this is some information that you're giving them. How do you think this information is helpful to African women?
it's the police and we are the one that that's the burden on how we are making this.
Mhm.
So we have seen that eating meat is good, but let's boil it. Let's not fry.
Mhm.
We have seen that fish is better. Yeah, boiled or grilled. Frying it takes away a lot. We have seen that eating our panayam is okay, but a handful of it is good.
Mhm.
So you having a very large.
Mm.
So when we prepare this meal, so we are exercising less because we want to take care of ourselves here and take care of our family. We are working 4 hours. Sometimes we are working 16 hours.
Mhm.
So the 8 hours that we have, when we are cooking, let's make sure we are cooking food that will be just enough for us, not too much. Don't
Mhm.
overeat. Don't eat and go to bed.
Mm.
So cut down your eating time maybe to like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Do you feel that more of such discussions are not only relevant but important and crucial for women in this community?
Yes.
Mm.
So and one other thing too, I don't think you told me, I'm a nurse educator.
Mhm.
I have a master's degree in nursing,
Mhm.
in primary care. So what I'm also saying, I had an opportunity for us to be able to empower ourselves. I'm a nurse educator. I have taught a lot of nurses,
Mhm.
and I also teach a lot of nursing assistants. There are a lot of stigma back home where people are saying that, oh, people are out there doing poo-poo cleaning job, which means we are just here to change diapers
Mm.
and then give elderly people care. But how can we start? This is not our home. This is not our mama land. When we come, we start for those humble beginnings, and then we can gradually elevate ourselves.
Mhm.
Instead of just coming and we want to wear the Louis Vuitton, wear the big cars, and say, "Oh, me, I'm too good to do this and do that."
Mm.
So I also started teaching by teaching the nursing assistant on how to just provide basic care with the intent that they will empower themselves to be future nurses.
Mhm. Kamata is a healthcare provider. Thank you so much for speaking to Apex One Radio, and we hope to speak with you some other time. This is Apex One Radio. We are at the tail end of the CWC Women's Conference, second edition of the Multicultural Women's Conference organized by this Columbus Women Connect in conjunction with Business for Peace Community Development Foundation and co-sponsored by the Alcohol and Drug Mental Health. We will be speaking to one or two other people before we run off. The networking is still continuing, and we will be running off shortly. Which is surprise one again. My name is Amos. And I think it's time for me to approach one of the participants, Yene. Yene, you flew all the way from Philadelphia to take part in this conference. If you did that, then it means the conference meant a lot for you, all right?
Yes. So when it comes to the issue of financial literacy, it's something I'm very passionate about. And I'm very much what's happening this forum. I'm like, wow, I'm happy to be there. I'm going to participate because that is one thing that is separating actually the lack of knowledge. And I'm going to see to make that to educate the community so that we will just reach that population that always saying the rich will be richer or poor will be poor. It's people for us to change our mindset by equipping ourselves with the education.
Okay.
Let's use them as community to educate us. It is necessary for us to help our community.
Mhm.
Right? So we work in this country. We did our money to people that already don't care about us.
Mhm.
We put our money in portfolios that we don't even understand. It's good because everyone said this before that because portfolios can help everyone understand the financial carriers, the portfolios they're putting on, so to make the right decision, building financial foundation, and all of those things. This is a real great forum. Starting from health. I mean, finances affect our health greatly. If you put on the number one stress, there are a lot of stress out there. The number one cause of stress is finances. And that leads to so many conditions. And how can we solve that problem is to have knowledge in health, knowledge in finances, well-being, everything is a holistic approach. So I'm very excited to be here today and I learned so much and I was happy to share what I knew as well. Yeah.
You come from a part of the world that is so attached to its cultural values. And one of those values is child upbringing. And we know in Africa that women contribute enormously to child upbringing. They're the ones who spend more time with the kids at home. But now you are telling women to chase wealth. And other observers hold that when women spend time chasing wealth in this modern world, then they forget about child upbringing. Uh, how would you balance that? Do you think that women chasing wealth would have time to bring up their kids and perhaps take care of the family?
Let me correct you. It's not women chasing wealth.
Mm,
Women are already chasing wealth. They're already leaving their family, they're working 24 hours.
mm,
Women, a lot of parents in the United States are not stay at home moms. A lot of mothers are not stay at home moms because everyone pays the bills. So that's the culture with Africa. We have a lot of stay at home moms. For America, there's no stay at home moms. It's not a reality in America.
mm,
Families are leaving their kids home to take care of themselves because they're chasing the bills. And it's a constant cycle. They're working a lot, but still there is a gap in their finances. What I'm asking women to do is to get knowledge. Is to get knowledge is to build a financial foundation so that they don't have to leave their kids home and chasing money. Because if you work in these hours and mismanaging your income, you always want to be away from your kids. So mismanage income because you don't have financial literacy. But with financial literacy, you will properly manage your income and reduce those hours that you're away chasing money only to mismanage.
mm.
So it is not about women chasing wealth. It is about understanding financial literacy, managing income so that you don't have to chase money for the rest of your life. You have to make the money work for you so you can enjoy some family time. I was like that, always out of my house, working hours and hours, placing too much bills to pay. But everything changed when I got financial literacy. I'm home with my kids. I'm instilling values in them because my finances, my priorities are different, you know. So it makes sense if you have the knowledge of money because you're working for money, you need some money. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
My last question is this, and I would like to paint a scenario and ask you if you think this is a possibility. An African woman who migrates to the United States of America works very hard, struggles to help her family here and perhaps the extended family back home. Do you see this woman maybe working for just a few years and retiring comfortably with a financial uh, back, backup and live the rest of her life effortlessly? Is that a possibility for an African woman who comes to this country?
it is possible. It is possible. If you can open it, first of all, you have to have that goal. You have to know are your goals when it comes to retirement. And then you have to understand the vehicle that will take you to that goal. So if you want to retire, true retirement is real. True retirement is real. For us African, our retirement is to go back home and live. That's our kind of retirement because in retirement money is not enough. But if you invest in the right vehicle, you can still be able to help the family. You just have to know what you can put aside. You have to understand compounding interest. You have to understand those vehicles that will take you to your retirement goals. And then once you do that, you prioritize and budget. We talk about budgeting. You have to pay yourself. The other panelists talk about it. Are we paying ourselves? We pay everyone. We pay even our family in Africa, but we don't pay ourselves. That that we have, it pays everything for we're not putting anything aside, 20 or 15%. That has to be a budget. That has to grow. That's your money working for you. So I'm still helping family in Africa, but I'm still building of my financial foundation so I can one day retire. So everyone should be able to do that. So yeah.
Right.
So mhm,
So when you move around and
mhm,
you provide this information
mhm,
to women, how do they react? And my last question would be,
mhm,
would you encourage such conferences to be held
mhm.
frequently?
Yes, yes. So our target is not just women, it's everyone. Like I said, women are receptive. Sometimes they find setback from their spouses. So our target is everyone. There's no family left behind when it comes to financial literacy.
Mhm.
Everyone should have financial literacy. This is not an option. Everyone needs it. So as we move along, I've helped a lot of families when it comes to setting up their financial plans. You know, and the burden it takes off your shoulder knowing that your house is in order when it comes to your finances. You have to because life is so fragile. I can walk out of here and getting an accident and go for it. So things has to be in order. You cannot predict that things gonna be out of order in the next 2 or 3 days when it comes to your life.
Yeah.
So if your finances or other things are not in order, everything you work for is just your family dream is gonna go down the drain. So people are very receptive, especially mothers. African mothers. I'm telling you, they are tired working and it makes sense to them. And even African fathers, yeah, they are receptive. Some of them are receptive. I have a lot of men that are on this campaign with me who are also from a country like Europe that are helping me carry the campaign. So I'm involving men to help talk to other men. Because if this other men succeed at this and things are changing for them, they're going to be more receptive. So whatever means we can find to build our community, to go out there so that things can change. It don't have to be like all the cycle of poverty, all the cycle of poverty.
Briefly tell us about your organization and how you can be contacted.
Okay, so my company is the wealthy one. That was my self affirmation. Like, hey, I'm the wealthy one. I'm gonna change my generation name. I'm gonna change my family. And I work on a platform, on a larger platform for WFG. So I do business on the platform, and we work with a lot of financial carriers. But what is more important is that education to understand the different financial portfolios for people and other
Yeah.
different strategy.
Yeah.
So I can be contacted. Zero has my card, electronic card, and you can reach out to me. Zero should give you my number. And I do this full time. So I run meetings on Zoom. I do in person. I drive if I have to drive to you and educate you. If you have a program you wanted to speak at, I go to your program and speak at it just to pass more information.
We want to thank you so much, Jenny, for speaking to Apex One. We do have received trip back to Philadelphia.
Thank you.
And we are almost at the tail end of this live broadcast. We will speak with the lead organizer. That will be a wrap up from this
Okay.
end. Lindora, satisfied?
Hi, I am more than satisfied. Right now, I feel like, when you overeat and your stomach is so loaded, that's how I feel. But I'm very humble that people could take up their time today on a Saturday for 6 hours just to come and just listen, interact, share, and talk about, as always, things that matter.
What did it entail to put all of this together?
It took a lot of organizing. We had vendors. We had to work with our social media team, communications team in Liberia to try to develop, flyers, the communication plan around this, which was not perfect. But basically, just trying to organize and send a message out there. First of all, even coming up with what the theme of the team that we wanted to talk about. Because this is annually. So it has taken a lot of organizing in the back. We are grateful to have a co-organizer for this event this year, the Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County, Adam Ish for short. They are contributing around $1,500 or up to what we spend for marketing and resource. We also developed a resource guide that I talked about earlier when we started. The whole thing is to, as part of our mission, is to create access to information for women. And so that resource guide gives information as to where women can find mental health resources, just specific resources across the city. As we get feedback, we're going to further enhance it. So we had the sample of that where you can even scan it and just go to an online platform. But it did take a lot. It took us having meetings as a collective to roll out the plan in terms of what it is that we wanted to talk about, what it is that we wanted to see, who we wanted to see in the room, and just reach out and see who else would join us in this space today.
About this time last year, you had the maiden edition of the Multicultural Conference for Women. This was the second edition. I want us to compare the two. What is it that made this edition different from the previous one?
In terms of comparison, last year's edition was the first. It was more about calling people to tell them, hey, we have this thing that is coming up. We have this thing that we are putting together. We have this thing, this idea of working together as women, and we were calling on all to come and hear why we were coming together, grasp the vision, and join us along this path. 1 year in, after a couple of meetings, we are beginning to see points of similarities, points of interest as professional women, as mothers, as community leaders. We are saying to ourselves, hey, we have a serious concern within our communities, whether it's looking at the community, Tanzanian community, or looking at the Senegalese community, or the Somalian community, or the Liberian, whatever community we had. We have at least 20 communities represented within the collective. There are some members that are affiliates. I call them affiliates because they are part of the chat room. They are following the conversation. They are reaching out to me one-on-one, but they are not really active. There are others who are active. We call for meetings. They come to those meetings. So throughout the year, we've been having meetings and talking about what it is that we really want to do, because our focus is trying to build something that's not the usual suspect. That's not like every other chat room that people come to, you're sharing birthday greetings and so forth. We want it to be more professional and issue-centered. And so as part of the conversations, we decided that the issues of health are critical for us. The issue of financial literacy is also critical. when we look around of all the things that are happening, whether those things happening within our homes, within our communities, or just generally when it comes to the political situation here in the United States or globally, what's happening politically, we need support when it comes to mental well-being, because as women, we need to continue moving. We need to continue to sustain our resilience.
The success of this second multicultural conference for women has been thanks to partnerships at various levels, individual level, organizational level. Who are some of the people or organizations you would like to pay tribute to?
So, for example, I mentioned Adam Ish. They're one of those. They unfortunately couldn't be in the hall today, but I think you saw they did send some resource materials. I had a conversation with them. We're going to be following up later. We hope that that partnership can somehow continue. After this, we will share with them our report from what happened here and some of the feedback. Also, we had Dr. Buhari Mohammed, who is the CEO of Ohio Health Family Center. He came also to share with us. We had Dr. Edmund Folithek, who is an oncologist who basically works at the Ohio State University. And we were opportune to meet him, or I was opportune to meet him the first time when we partnered with Just Like You Foundation and others, Success Ohio and other women's organizations to host that breast cancer awareness last month. He was there. He came to talk to us about things we needed to do, and it was really successful. And we thought that, hey, this thing really blends with what we are trying to do. Let's bring him back. We are very fortunate that he had the opportunity to join us this time around to come and talk to us more in a broader context and not just focus on the issue of cancer. We have, for example, one of my own Liberian sisters, Famada Donor Tar, who also has her own agency, and she's working and teaching and has a SCNA practice and teaching other nurses. She was here to also tell us what she's saying on a day-to-day basis in terms of our communities. What are those things that are really key? We have another sister who drove all the way from Philadelphia, as I indicated earlier, just to come and be part of this conversation around financial well-being, financial health, longevity, financial literacy, be part of that conversation. And so we have new partners. Fedna, she comes from another financial literacy Fedmani institution. I haven't seen her before, but through one of the members of the collective, she was invited. We have vendors that I haven't seen before. And so it's just, this has brought together more than 15 different organizations, those that are within the collective and outside of the collective. And I think the more people get to know about what we are doing, the feedback so far has been positive. People want to do more of this. The more people get to understand and learn more about what we are doing and why we are doing it, the broader the partnership will become, and it's just exciting.
Last question. We do understand that CWC has more ideas and more concepts on how to help the community and, of course, women. So, after today, what next? When next?
After today, what next is that we have ideas for rolling out specific programs. So, for example, one of the things we've been talking about, and as a matter of fact, what we were hoping to do was to have like 3 different events leading up to this one. I will make it event number 4. Just talking about the issues with just us as members, talking about the issues with our children, with our husbands, with other community members, and then bring the broader professional community here into this space. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that. Summer has been very busy. All of us, generally, our community leaders are nonprofit leaders. And so because we didn't have that much time, one, we also didn't have the financial support to organize all of those, and planning also, because we have this thing of trying to support each other. So if someone from the collective is having an event, we join them, and that's what led us as the foundation to join with JLU and the others, one of whom was also based in Cameroon, to host that. So if we're going to be supporting each other like that, we also cannot have too many activities, and that was our initial plan. Let's not have too many. And so one of those things that we want to do is to come up with a concrete program that will take us toward creating more awareness, educating more people about the things we talked about here today, and basically just having brief conversations with the doctors that were here present. I said to them, we'll be following up to see how we roll. We come up with that program in partnership with them. So we roll it out in partnership with other women leaders that are also from different communities, so that we roll it out across the city and learn from each other and continue to strengthen our base here.
Linda, thank you so much for speaking to Apex One Radio.
Thank you for being here, for giving us coverage, and we appreciate your support.
Lindora Howard Diawara is the founder and CEO of Business for Peace Community Development Foundation. She is one of the leading members of Columbus Women Connect, under whose banner the second edition of the Multicultural Conference for Women was organized this first day of November 2025. We are in the United States of America, precisely from the city of Reynoldsburg, where we have been reporting. And so they came in their numbers, the women, accompanied by the men as well, for this second edition of the Multicultural Conference for Women. They participated actively in the discussions that focus on health, wealth, family strengthening, and of course, well-being. And so all is well that ends well. It was a very successful event, which Apex One Radio immortalized in the way we did. My name is Ernest Kanjo. Maxwell Ajit was the producer of this live broadcast that took us hours, but it was worthwhile, and so that is what we do. We also contribute in community development in our own way. Hopefully, the message has spread across the world. Thank you so much for those of you who joined us on our respective social media handles, that is Facebook and YouTube. And if you listen to this broadcast on apex1radio.com, thank you so much. It's exactly 4:47 p.m. here at Reynoldsburg, Ohio, and we are running off this special broadcast session, wishing you the best and encouraging you to keep supporting the community in your own little way. And this is my name. Have a fantastic rest of the weekend, and may God bless you. Continue listening to programs on Apex One Radio. Bye.
That's the thing.